So we're going to talk about sharing solutions or sharing options, whatever your company calls it, and we're going to kind of break that down.
Yeah.
And like, this is an important step, so you want to make sure you get this step right. And the people that we've worked with, the technicians, guys and gals over the years that were really good at this option, this piece. It really helps the customer, it helps the company, it helps you, it helps everybody.
There's lots of reasons. So, you know, it's funny, we mentioned Charlie Greer the other day, and he had a saying that I really loved, and you probably heard me say it. He's always about, he talks about, it's our job to help the customer save the most money possible long term. And you might be thinking, well, that's a little weird, like the stuff we do is expensive. But if we do our job right, you know what they say, it's cheaper to hire a professional than it is to hire someone cheap.
Yeah,
because you end up getting nickel and dime. So this is the way you spend the least amount of money possible. And he would say, that's our job. And so when we talk about sharing solutions, we've hit on a few things over the week, and we're going to recap those. And sort of, this is where you put all this stuff together, whether it's memberships, bundling, being silent, asking good questions, being in control of costs. So that's kind of the point of doing a bit of a deep dive today. This is going to be another good one for service managers.
Well, yeah, it is. And yesterday we talked, you know, about turning over leads to sales.
Right.
And so this kind of ties into that a little bit.
Sure it does.
And, you know, what we've noticed over the years is technicians in general, electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs, roofers, pest control guys, they're really good humans, and they want to save that customer money. But sometimes it's better just to give up, as we said yesterday.
That's right. That's right, and that's one of the options we can share.
Yeah.
You know, we'll always give options, and I know there's a lot of people that, regardless, like to just have that as part of the conversation so the customer gets used to it. So lots of different ways of doing this. But where should we start? Should we start at?
Well, I want to talk about discounts. You know, so you want to make sure you show a discount. You want to say, hey, you saved this amount of money today because you're a member, because you're in the family. I was able to save you some money today because of your membership. If they don't have a membership, you have a really good way of showing that.
Yeah. So again, it's something I picked up over the years. And to be clear, we're not just talking about like, you look like a 10% discount. This is your company's, you know, standard pricing and then discount pricing, standard pricing, member pricing. And so rather than just talking abstractly, hey, do you want to save some money? Help people do the math, and so show it clearly, whether it's on a tablet, piece of paper, whatever you're at today. So, Mr. Smith, I've taken a look. Would you like to know what I found? What it'll take to get it up and back running, and all the costs involved?
Yes, sure.
We're going to talk about starting questions. That's a great starting question. Okay, so I've given you a number of options. As you can see, there's two sets of prices here. That's because we do have some people that want to pay full price, but we have a lot of people that want to get a discount. The way they do that is they become a club member, family member, plan member. Now, of course, I've charged you for the monthly plan membership in the second option. I've tallied all your savings, and this option here is the way to spend the least amount of money possible today. How would you like me to move forward?
And I think that's a really good point, too. And we're going to talk about a question in a minute. But, hey, he started with a question. Would you like for me to go ahead and share this with you? And then at the end, he said, hey, which one do you want to get started on? Would you like for me to get started on? Which one's best for you?
That's right.
Which one fits into your budget?
Conversational ping pong,
That's
right?
exactly what it is. And so there's a couple other things like, we talk about bundling.
Yeah.
And that's putting 2 or 3 repairs into one price. And so let's just go back to my Wendy's analogy. You know, you got the single, double, and triple. But when you order the combo, the number 4 combo at a fast food restaurant, they just give you one price. They don't tell you how much the burger is and how much the fries are and how much the drink is. Now, you can certainly break that out. But it's really good if you just bundle a few repairs together. And because it lets that customer have less buying decisions. They only have to say yes or no to a couple of things. And so
I confused mine says no, right?
Absolutely. And so the more we talk, the more they get confused because they don't know what we're talking about. So sometimes they just kind of go along with us, right?
You know, every once in a while, someone will get, maybe it's happened to you, you'll get an email from a customer asking for an itemized bill. You never really see that at Wendy's.
No.
Going, hey, I got number 4 Happy Meal. I'd like a breakdown.
Break that down.
What's the labor in that? Yeah,
That's
exactly. But the other thing is, with bundling, what we're talking about here, it's not really just walking through the house and picking stuff off your van, go, you know, they deserve a surge protector today. It's going to be relevant, right? And so there's a couple of things. First, the reason that we bundle is because if we had to do it separately, there would be a trip charge. Now, we've talked about this. Across the country, that's anywhere from $99 to $200, $300, $400 a pop just to roll a truck with a licensed skilled technician with $5,000 worth of parts on a truck, right? So if we can bundle those and do them all while we're here, we don't have any travel time, we don't have that inefficiency, and so companies like to quite often make bundle prices attractive, and you should do that. And lastly, what does it you say about how we decide what goes in an option pile? It's usually there's a trigger of
So what we want to do is, and you've heard me talk about this before, is we never want an option or a solution looking for a problem.
Nah.
So if you say, hey, I added this air scrubber in here for you, Eddie, and they said, well, why did you do that? We didn't talk about air scrubbers.
We're doing it wrong.
You're just trying to sell them an air scrubber.
Boo.
And that's not what we want to talk about on the tool shed. And so it's always good to be like, because you said this, I added this option. Because you had this problem, I added this solution for you.
Yeah, I like to, hey, and remember when we were both looking at that, that's why that's in here. And that's sort of how we talk about those options, right?
Because you said we added this.
Yep,
because
absolutely.
you had this problem, I gave you this solution.
Ultimately, we're there to take care of the people that live in the home with the equipment, and everything we do should be related to them and problems or conversations. And we find this stuff out because we get good at asking questions, right? We get good at starting conversations.
That's right. And what we want to make sure, regardless of your trade, is that when you give that option, you give that solution, you give them a warranty with it.
Yep.
You always want to give them peace of mind.
Yep.
So let's just think about it. They didn't call you out there because they're having a good day. They called you out there because they're having a problem.
You're right.
And they don't want that problem to happen again. So if you fix it, they're always wondering, well, what if it breaks again?
Yeah,
and so if you put the warranty, 2 years parts, 2 years labor, whatever your warranty is, it gives them peace of mind.
Right.
And then they become an ambassador for you. They were really good.
Absolutely.
They gave me a warranty. They showed me my discount. They put 2 or 3 options together, made it easy for me. And so, like, showing solutions is the key. Like, so, if you want to earn more money, get really good at this step.
Yeah, you can make a living out of just like helping people, and that's good. But you can make a really good life if you figure this part out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So what was your aha moment? Did you always think this? What was the catalyst for you?
So here's a Jerry story for you.
Pull up a chair.
And so, I was in sales for a long time, and I had sold a customer an upstairs air conditioner. 2 to 3 years later, that same customer called in and say, hey, our downstairs air conditioner is having problems. Send Jerry back out here. Jerry sold last.
Yep.
And so I went back out there, and they said, hey, we want to replace the downstairs unit. And let us tell you this. When the upstairs unit started giving us problems, we repaired it, and it was pretty expensive, like a $700 or $800 repair. And then later in the summer, we had to do another repair, and it was $200 to $300. And we made it through that summer. The following summer, we did another repair, and then it had critical failure at the end. We wish we would have just replaced it without doing all those repairs. And it was kind of an aha moment with me because, like, we create our own objections. So sometimes when we go to somebody's home, we think, they're going to say this, and they're going to object to that. They're not going to want to do that, and that's all in our head.
That's all in our head.
Yeah. So, like, it was an aha moment for me. Like, it's their agenda, not your agenda.
So what's you talk about how you control the call, not the customer?
Yeah, that's super duper important. Like you can't control the customer.
You shouldn't try.
But you can control the call. And so it would sound like, hey, if you're the customer, and I say,
where would you like to start?
I'd like to start at the thermostat.
You got a plan. It's
and
your call.
Where do you like to keep the thermostat in the summer? Where do you keep it in the winter?
Right.
And all those are great questions because I'm controlling the call.
Right. Because you've done it hundreds of times before. The customers maybe done it never, once, twice, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's talk about the tip that we got yesterday from one of our shedders.
Yeah. Like we're up here like a couple of clowns doing all the work. Meanwhile, there's genius watching us, and it was Brian, right?
Brian Southers. And listen, like when we started the tool shed, we said from the very beginning, we're going to share the information that we have, and we're going to openly and freely share it with people, but we want you to share information with us. And so I do this thing, and I teach people, like, ask, don't tell.
That's right.
And it's all about, like, don't tell them their unit's 12 years old and they need to replace it. It sounds more like, Do you know how old your unit is?
Right.
Do you typically know how long they typically last? What do you think we should do about it? Brian says, hey, I noticed that a couple of years ago you did a $500 repair, and then last year we came out and we did a repair on it again. Do you think this unit's reliable?
That is such a great question. Do you think this unit's reliable? And then, of course,
Stop right?
talking. Let that because that's what we call a pregnant question. That's like got stuff in it that like, they'll think about that for a while. So listen, we could easily we'll probably do a second episode on this because there's so much to get to, but we're at time. So if you've got other tips like that, get them in there. And remember, the job is to share solutions. Clean your mental reset button, get in there, and then today's challenge on every single call, share multiple options. Even if you're just usually doing the one, try and do two. If you do two, try and do three. Give the customer options and tie it to the customer's needs, concerns, and wants, and be that trade blue-collar hero today. We'd love to hear about it. Thank you for coming to the shed today.